Hey, let's try this again, y'all. Let's try this again. Is anybody there? I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know what happened. My Wi-Fi went down as soon as I started my live. But I hope y'all can see it and come back. Hi, Krishan. Thanks for coming back. You guys, my Wi-Fi just went down. I don't know what happened as soon as I started talking. And you know what? Wi-Fi has been working well all day. But as soon as I get here and I start, the Wi-Fi went down. So I'm sorry, guys. Hi, Kate Simone. Hey, it's my first time seeing you on live. Thanks for joining. Hi, Exotic Dakota. Oh, is this Exotic Manchild? You changed your username? Okay. Hi, I hope you're doing well. Hi, Daisy. Thanks for sticking around. We have Beyond the Narcissistic says, welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. You guys, I don't know what happened, but we are discussing Sunday's video. They befriend you to suppress you. Yeah, I hope the Wi-Fi stays stable. Let's pray it stays stable because I do not want any interruptions. This is a good video we're going to discuss today. All right. So I got my notes up here. Oh, and if you're just coming in, I was just talking about for every live that we will do from now on, the first thing I'm gonna ask y'all is, did you I'm gonna give you homework. So you're gonna either work on a glow getter guide or go to the Bible manipulation book. So for the glow getter guide, I want y'all to work on the who am I page. The whole point of that chapter is for you to figure out who you are, create your sense of self so that you know exactly who you are, so that when somebody tries to kind of degrade you or try to change you or mold you to what they want, you can know like, hey, this is not who I am. I know who I am because I wrote it down. So you can kind of spot when somebody is trying to get you to mold you to whatever they want you to be. And also if you have certain boundaries or things that you don't like or what you don't want to do, you will know because you wrote it down. Okay. So every single time we do a live, I'm going to give y'all homework. So today's homework, if you have the Glow Getter guide, if you don't, go get it on Amazon. Do the Who Am I page, okay? Thanks, Exotic Dakota. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, let's get into the video. They befriend you to suppress you. So I started with the Robert Greene clip because that's actually what inspired me to make the video. Sukman Sukmani. Is that the name? Is that how you say it? Hi, Sukmani. Thanks for catching the live. But basically, when I saw that clip of Robert Greene on that podcast saying that, I was like, oh my God, yes, 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 tense across the board. And I had to create a whole video about it because it made so much sense. He explains it perfectly. Somebody that is envious of you goes out of their way to befriend you. Sometimes it's not even in a malicious way. Sometimes they think that they might actually like you. And on some level, they do. They do actually like you. But eventually, the feelings of envy becomes way too much for them to suppress around you. So then they start with these little criticisms and bad comments. So eventually, they can't handle the envy anymore. And it just becomes a whole disaster, right? Been there, done that. And I'm sure some of you guys have experienced it too. That's why you guys love that video so much. So we are going to discuss it. Hi, Ruth. How you doing? Good to see you today. Okay. So the first point for this video, I broke down what a frenemy is, right? A frenemy is someone who presents themselves as a friend but secretly acts as an enemy. This is the blend of the word friend and enemy, right? Because on the surface, they may appear friendly and close to you, but underneath, they are working against your best interests. So, if you ever had an experience with a frenemy before, right? You can always kind of tell, right? Because they do things that, again, like I said in the video, they can explain away. If you ever confront them on it, they always have some type of answer for you. Like, what? That's not what I meant. Wait, what? You're taking this too seriously. I was just looking out for you. Why would you tell these people my business? Why would you tell these people my business? But now if I confront you, now is, oh, you were just looking out for me. Why do they need to know that? If I told you specifically my business that is private, that is like dear to my heart, and I don't want anybody to know anything about this, and you know I don't want anything to know anybody to know about this. You know, there are some things that you just don't repeat to other people. So why do you think it's okay to repeat that to somebody else? And then when I hear it and people are either making fun of me or discussing it or spreading it or adding things on top of it, and I confront you, my friend, quote unquote, you're going to tell me, what? No, I just said that so that, they can treat you nicer because I thought, no, you didn't. These frenemies know what they're doing. Okay. They like to tell your personal business or unfavorable things about you so that people can see you in like a diminished light. Hi, Shine Baby Shine. I hope you're doing well. They know exactly what they're doing. So they will say like, these are, and I told you guys in the video, I created the avatar Eva the envious. So Eva is not a narcissist. She's not a sociopath. She's an average girl, right? And she befriends you because she somehow feel envious of you. But Eva is a good person overall, right? She treats everybody nicely for the most part. And that's the thing, guys. Envy and jealousy is not always about somebody that is a bad person or just a terrible person. Sometimes somebody can be a good person to you, and not to just in general. They can be a good person to most people in general, very nice. And they just have one target that they're envious of, and they do all these crazy things to that one specific target. So if that one specific target ever says anything to anybody else, people will look at them crazy like, what? No, what? Eva's so nice. Like, she's so nice to everybody. Like, you're trying to be messy. You're trying to start some ish. Yeah, you're messy. So then the blame gets on you because Eva is not envious of those other people. Eva is envious of you only. That's why she targets you with the things that she does to you, not anybody else. Okay. And sometimes some people can actually start out as genuinely good friends, but as time progresses, they might become envious. So let's say when y'all started out, y'all were like 20 years old, right? Young kids and whatever else. And let's say now you're like 25 and now you have like a really great job, prestigious job, you're making a lot of money. And then Eva, unfortunately, doesn't yet. Her blessings haven't come yet. And she's not making as much money and she's not married than she really wants to be. So now she becomes envious of you, although she's been a very good friend for those 5 years. So you guys, envy is not always about somebody that's like super dangerous, who's just a complete narcissist that treats people badly. No, somebody can generally be a good person and become envious of you. Okay. Hi, Cha-Cha. How are you doing? Hi, Fire in the Sky. I think this is my first time seeing you in a live. Thanks for joining. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about what is the psychology of a frenemy. Okay. Like we said, this is the blend of a friend and an enemy, right? And it's not always somebody that's a bad person. And what I said in the video is that it depends on what the person is lacking in your life, right? So, and I use beauty envy for my video, but it could be anything that they're envious of. So let's say it could be beauty envy, or they could be jealous of your confidence. Maybe they're just not as confident and have low self-esteem. So they're very jealous of you for being like confident and or popular. Or they could just be envious of your light, your calm, your peace. A lot of people don't have inner peace, y'all. So then they start disliking you, they start becoming envious of you because how freely you move and how happy and calm you are and how peaceful you are. Okay, so they could be envious of anything, but for the sake of my video, we're going to use beauty envy, right? So there's one specific thing that Eva is envious of you for, which is, in this case, your looks, your appearance, right? Because see, Eva, although she's content with her looks for the most part, we all have people that we look up to. Some of us want to look like Beyonce. Some of us want to look like the Kardashians or whatever, right? That's on your mood board. Now imagine if at your school or at your job, a girl walks in that's looking exactly almost identical to what you've always wanted to look like. Now, although before you knew she existed, you were pretty content with your own life and what you have. But now that you see it and it's right in front of you, and she's sitting at your job, and y'all doing the same job, or maybe you're in the same class, now it becomes too much to handle. She can't ignore it because it's like this elephant in the room here. Okay. All right. Everyone here is so stunning. Okay, yeah. Shine Baby Shine says, yep, that's what trips me up. The gradual hate when they were once a good friend. Yeah. Some people can start out as generally good friends and then become horrible because they become envious. Fire in the Sky says, yes, it is. I never knew you did lives. Yeah. I just started doing them. So I think it's like our 4th live. Yeah. They're jealous of your youth. It could be. Daisy said, my frenemy attached to me at 15 and then tried to destroy me at 25. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying, y'all. Some people can start out as genuinely good friends, but then life happens. Time passes by. Things change. And then maybe you have what they don't have now. You're not on the same level anymore. So now they become envious, and then you never know what somebody will do. Okay. As they become envious. Hi, Kofi. Thanks for coming back. Hi, you got a Ghanaian in the chat. Hello. I hope your weekend was okay. Cha said the likes and the views need to match. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you guys like the live. Okay, like the live if you're watching, if you're here. Also, don't be shy, y'all. Say something in the chat, okay? All right. So, like we said, now it's sitting next to her at her job or her school, and she can't ignore you. It's gnawing at her. It's this elephant in the room. She's feeling pretty envious. And when you're envious of somebody, there's just this feeling of like a threat. It's like you don't know how to feel. It's just this weird feeling. It's like they don't know what to do. So in my competitive woman video, I broke down, they literally perceive you as a threat. So that's when we have the fight, flight, fawn, and freeze responses. But we know that that Eva herself is not a bad person. She's not a sociopath. She's not a narcissist. She doesn't treat people terribly. So she thinks, you know what? Why be envious? Let me just get to know this girl. Maybe I might like her, and maybe I won't feel like the way I feel about her now, right? So Eva proceeds to befriend you, okay? And at first she's nice. She's open, she's warm, and she might even think, if I get to know this girl, maybe she's not as perfect as she seems. Maybe she's not intelligent, maybe she's mean, maybe she's messy, maybe she's fake. And then I won't feel so bad about myself in her presence. Okay. See, with the thing with a lot of envious people is that they always try to find a flaw so that they can feel better about themselves in your presence, right? See, if this person is super beautiful, but I get to know her and I realize oh, she's really dumb, or she's just a very terrible person, then I'm not going to feel so envious. I'm probably going to feel a little better about myself. I might feel a little bit superior. So Eva thinks, let me just get to know her and let's see what happens. So she befriends you and she's nice, just like she is nice to everybody. And over time, let's say weeks go by, maybe even months go by, and she's realizing that, this girl, I don't really see a flaw like I thought I would. She's not mean. She's not a terrible person. She doesn't treat me bad. She doesn't look down on me or anybody else. Now she's getting frustrated. Ugh. There is nothing to humble this girl with. Why does she seem so perfect? Maybe she just never had a hard thing happen in her life. Maybe that's why. And then they start spiraling and start thinking of all these things. So now that she doesn't have anything to kind of bring you down with, there's seemingly nothing really wrong with you, right? Now she feels like in order for her to feel better about herself in this situation, because now she befriended you, so it's not like she can just get up and leave without saying anything, right? Now she befriended you, so this friendship has to keep going on if there's no legitimate reason to end it. But she feels terrible about herself in your presence all the time. So she needs to do certain things to relieve that pressure that she's feeling all the time. That's when the little things, the frenemy stuff starts kicking in. Okay. She feels like she needs to humble you a little bit, right? So that's when all the other things start happening. So the examples that I gave in the video, she might even start making sure other people don't like you, right? Because she feels like she needs to control your environment. Because if other people don't like you either, then it's not just Eva that don't like you because she's jealous. Oh no. See, everybody don't like you. So maybe there's something wrong with you. See how that works? See, if I can get everybody to not like you in some way, or if I can get everybody to think that you're mean or messy and just try to exclude you, then you can feel like there's something wrong with you. So then I start to feel a little bit better by myself when in this friendship. Isn't it sick how that works? Okay, so let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn responses. Okay, when somebody's envious of you, their cortisol spikes, stress hormones surge, and their nervous system goes into fight or flight mode as if you're an actual threat. Okay, so the fight response we talked about. This is usually narcissists, right? What we talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. But these are the ones that have the bully gene. They feel like they need to tear you down immediately. So they try to become hostile, roll their eyes, shade you, say something slick under their breath, try to bully you, sabotage you, or exclude you, right? Then the freeze response. These are the people that kind of withdraws and goes quiet, become distant. They don't reach out to you as much because they're trying to ignore. Like if I ignore this thing, like I won't feel as strongly about it if I keep my distance, which I think is the best like strategy. If you're envious of somebody and you don't know how to feel about them, just stay away for the most part until you can figure yourself out. Just stay away and figure out why you are feeling the way you're feeling, right? Okay, Fire in the Sky says this is not a passive topic. Think of Shanquilla, Robinson, and the Cabo Six. Yes, we'll talk about those later. Okay, we're still at the beginning of the video. And then the flight response, the distancing yourself. So this is when they remove themselves entirely and avoid you and distance themselves, not out of dislike, but out of feelings of feeling inferior around you, right? So I think I talked about in this response is that, have you noticed with these types, with the flight response, but they always keep their distance? And let's say like one day you just try to be nice and friendly and talk to them, or like, hey, whatever. To somebody that is envious of you and you try to befriend them, have you noticed that they become really angry and hostile towards you when you try to talk to them or befriend them? Because in their mind, they feel like you're playing in their face. When somebody puts you on a pedestal and they're envious of you, when you try to befriend them and be normal, they start thinking like you're playing in their face. They think like, oh, this person thinks they're better than me, and they're trying to stun me, or they're trying to act like they're better than me. Have y'all noticed that? Leave it in the chat. Leave it in the chat. When you can tell somebody is jealous of you and you try to be nice and talk to them, or just befriend them or whatever, have you noticed that they become hostile towards you? As if like you're trying to stun them or something. But when you're just being normal, Leave it in the chat. And then the fawn response. So this is where the frenemy starts, the frenemy stuff happens at, right? Instead of them leaving you alone or distancing themselves, as any sane person would, they get close to you. They try to befriend you, right? All right, because Sean says yes, 100%. Yeah. Like they think you're playing in their face. Shine, baby Shine says actually yes. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Okay. So the fawn response, she gets close to you. She tries to befriend you. Maybe she can learn something from you. Maybe she can study you. How you do this, how you got that. Maybe she can get close to you and humanize you, and that will cure her envy, right? And she can get more information to use against you or become more like you or whatever. So this is where the frenemy stuff starts. Okay. All right, so let's talk about the fawn response. Like we said, Eva is not a terrible person. She actually treats people well for the most part, right? And she feels like, if she gets close to you and tries to befriend you, maybe she might actually start to like you and won't feel the way that she feels about you. So she gets close to you and she realizes that you're not a bad person. You don't really have anything tangible that she can use to kind of reduce your reduce you in her mind to feel better about how she feels about you, right? So she starts to realize, you're not secretly a terrible person. You're not fraudulent. You're not fake. This is just you. You're genuinely kind. You're genuinely confident. You genuinely look like that. And you're not even trying to make her feel bad about it. You are just existing. And she becomes frustrated. Why are you so perfect? What is wrong with you? Why do I feel the way that I feel about you in my presence? Right? Because now she can't comfort herself with the story that you're not really that great, right? The closer she gets to you, the more she has to confront the fact that you are exactly who you appear to be. Okay? So how somebody like Eva will deal with this type of situation is a little different than the rest of them. Because like we said, Eva's not a bad person. Okay? Okay, Shine Baby Shine says this girl ended up turning a whole group against me, but then she will stalk my socials. Yep, that's a fan. It's a fan. Shine Baby Shine says, when I think back on it, I honestly think this girl was attracted to me and didn't know how to process those feelings. Yeah, so I talk about that at the end of the video, how sometimes they just want to look at you. They might have a little crush on you. Yeah. Exotic Dakota said, envy is a real demon that can take people over. It's hard when a friend gets envious, especially when they helped you out in the past. Yes. And that's another thing is survival envy. When you were down and out and somebody had to help you, and now that you're up, you way surpassed them, and now they're starting to feel a certain type of way. Because now they're down and you're up. It's not like they're struggling, but now you've way surpassed them. It's survival jealousy. Krishan says, same. She tried to get people to hate me, but I flipped the script by rejecting all of them due to their whack behavior. They retracted their statements and started to act nice again. Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about the tactics. So, somebody like Eva is not hostile. So the way she will deal with this, because she can't get out of this friendship that she put herself in because there's no tangible reason to, but she needs to do something to alleviate the feelings that she's feeling towards you. Okay? So, how she will react will be more underhanded and provocative, right? She's not going to yell at you. She's not going to be hostile. She's not going to call you terrible names and insult you, obviously, right? She's more calculated than that. A lot of the times she does these things in the shadows of the friendship behind your back towards with other people, right? She's doing damage underhandedly. So example that I gave, this can look like preemptive slander. Okay, I talk about it in the Bible manipulation book. This is when somebody, before you ever meet new people or somebody that's envious of you will tarnish your image and your reputation to those people before you ever meet them. So then when you meet them, they're looking at you all weird. They're ignoring you. They're excluding you. They're being hostile and mean towards you, disrespectful towards you. And you're thinking like, why are they treating me like that? Like, this is my friend's friend. So what reason would they have to treat me so terribly? That makes no sense. But you don't realize that your friend is jealous of you and has tarnished your reputation to these people before you ever meet them. Okay? All right, Angela B said, my sister-in-laws are like this. That's why I distance myself. My husband still wants me to talk and hang out with them during gatherings. Yeah, that's tough when it's like part of your family because you can't just easily leave like that. Sorry about that. So, preemptive slander. Have you ever met your friend's friends or your friend's family, and the first time you're meeting them, and you're nice. Hey, y'all, nice to meet you. Da da da. I'm so and so, and they give you a look up and down, or they do a little smirk. A little smirk. It's always a smirk, or they just like they leave you alone, like they exclude you in a way, like purposely. You can tell when somebody's purposely excluding you. Like they will start doing an activity and they all gather around and like don't even try to talk to you or include you or anything. And they make sure that you know that they're excluding you. Like is the eye roll, is the mean mugging look that they have, and then when you try to do something, like they suck your teeth or they walk away, like, and you're thinking like, what the hell is going on? What's going on? Like, my friend invited me here. I came with her. She's y'all's friend. So why would y'all have any reason to not like me? I don't understand this behavior. Your friend don't like you, baby. She don't like you. Okay, Exotic Dakota says, when people believe the tarnishing of the reputation, I feel like they always wanted to believe it. Yeah, so that's what we talked about, smear campaigns in my other video. Yeah, when people believe a rumor like that, a lot of times they already have a bias against you and they just needed something to confirm it. Ruth says, I agree with Exotic Dakota. That hive mindset is so real. Yeah. Barry. Hi, Barry. This is your first time. Is this your first time on live? Nice to meet you. Thanks for joining. He said, losers, bro. And it says, I make the connection now. I just assume it's my friend talking ish. Yeah. It's good that they do so that it's easy for us to. Yeah. Yeah. So when you meet your friend's friends and they treat you terribly, disrespectfully, just outright, just rude, a lot of times it's coming from your friend. They're talking about you. Okay. Shine Baby Shine says she doesn't LOL, see yourself out and never look back. Yeah, she doesn't like you. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. So the whole reason why Eva is doing this, because she herself can't come out and tell you that she doesn't like you. She can't come out and say like, hey, you look exactly how I want to look, but I can't look like that. And I feel very inferior around you in your presence. So I'm just going to end this friendship. She can't say that because it's a little shameful, right? And there's no legitimate reason. You haven't done anything to her or to anybody else. So she can't come out and say that. So she tries to get other people to do her dirty work. She's trying to show you like, hey, you're not all that. Everybody don't like you. Look, my peoples don't like you either. Maybe there's something wrong with you. And they don't tell you they're doing this, right? So it's like you're thinking around trying to figure out why these people are treating you so terribly. And it's like, that's the whole point. She wants you to start spiraling. She wants you to start trying to rack your mind like, wait, is something wrong with me? Was I too bubbly? Was I too standoffish? Was I like, what is wrong with me? Why don't they like me? That's exactly the point they're trying to make. They want you to start feeling, doubting yourself, making you feel like there's something wrong with you, even though there's nothing wrong with you. Okay. Barry said, I like the title. Thank you. Healthy Green Lifestyle says, there are moms that put their daughters down to other people. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that another day. Yeah. Triangulation, it means we are the ish. Yeah. Yes. So that's a giveaway. When you meet your friends or that you don't know, or you meet your family and they outwardly disrespect you, 9 times out of 10, that behavior is coming from your friend. Okay. She doesn't like you and she can't voice it to you. So she'd rather let other people hurt you the way that she actually wants to hurt you. All right. Kashan says, are they ever aware of their mindset and behavior? Yes. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're aware. They're aware. They just can't stop it because the feelings of envy. You guys, you don't know. There's different levels to envy. Okay. When somebody has gone off the deep end of envy, the things they can do to you is scary. Scary. Like you have girls that will set other girls up to get outwarded by a man or by men because they're jealous of her beauty. So they want to put her in those situations to hurt her. It's sick, right? Okay. All right, one more, then we'll get back to the topic. Okay. Ruth says, I like how your videos help us understand the psychology of these dynamics. Can you tell us what we should do in response? Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end, what to do in response. Okay. All right, so another way that Eva, because she's not bad to everybody, right? Um, Another way she will do this, try to sabotage you, is she will try to exclude you a lot. Okay. So Eva wants nobody else to like you, right? She feels like you being so beautiful and exactly what she wants to look like, she feels like that should be enough. Why do you get to have everything else in the world? Why do you get to do this and do that and have this? You can't have everything. So she wants to be in control of what you have and what you can do. She tries to get people to exclude you, not invite you to things, not get you involved. She tries to turn people's opinions of you to the negative so people don't feel like they should come out and reach out to you because they already have a bias against you. Let me see. Okay, Angela B said, can a person be jealous and envious at the same time? Maybe it's a stupid question, but I'm not sure. It's always discussed separately. Yeah, so yeah, it can be both. Like, for example, a man that you're dating can be envious of you. Maybe you make more money than him or something. And he still likes you though, so he doesn't want anybody else to have you either. Right. So if you talk to another man, he gets jealous. So that's both. That's both envy and jealousy. So that's possible. Yeah. Yeah. So Eva wants to control your reality. She wants to send the message that you're not all that. You don't get to have everything. And she can't hurt you directly because you haven't done anything to her. So she's trying to control everything else around you so that you can be hurt. Okay. And also I added in they love to give gifts. Like I said, Eva is herself seems like a nice person. So she likes to give gifts. That's why I said, if you're a spiritual person, if you know, you know, please be careful of gifts, especially gifts that you have to eat, drink, or they have to spray on your body, put on your body like a lotion, perfume, or food or drinks. Okay? Witchcraft is very real. And Eva's nice, right? So she's going to do a nice thing and give you a present. Okay? Be very careful of gifts from these types of people. Okay, Beyond the Narcissistic says, I think envy is a part of human nature. We all experience it. It takes a toll to work on ourselves and learn how to control it. Yeah, so that's what I said. Envy is a normal human emotion. It's how you deal with it that matters. Okay. Ruth says, the gift part creeped me out. It's true, you guys. Been there, done that. Okay. But you need to, if you're gonna use the gift, pray over it. If not, me, I throw it in the trash, or I just don't accept it. Um, Pink Angel, hi Pink Angel, this is your first time on my live. She says, someone like this gave me a Barbie doll as a gift. It went straight to the trash. Yep. And you know what's funny is that, let's say it's like it's a food gift, right? And let's say you don't eat it, you throw it in the trash. The next time they see you, they won't stop asking about it. They'll be like, did you eat it? You didn't eat it, did you? You really ate it? Because they were waiting for something to happen on the altar, and it didn't happen. See how sick people are? She would keep asking about it and looking confused because she's waiting for something to happen. She was trying to be able to see you in the spirit, and she couldn't see it. People are really evil out here, y'all. Do not just accept gifts blindly, especially from people that overly fawn over you. And you can tell they're a little envious of you. Okay. Krishan says, wait, so a man can be envious and like you? Yeah, I mean, if you're hot, yeah, he likes you. But is talking to his friends and family? If so, then he must not see that woman as a long-term partner. Yeah, you should leave him. Yeah. So yeah, be careful of gifts from people like Eva. Okay. Another type of fawning that I talked about in the video is these girls that want to be your sidekick. They have a preconceived notion of what they think somebody that looks like you should be like. They think you are going to be like a Regina George. You're going to be like one of those mean girls in those pop culture movies that is a bully that people are scared of, and you talk down to people or you exclude people. She feels like you have power and you wield your power. And she feels like if she's around you, she will have some power by association. And she is waiting to eagerly be your sidekick, like a Gretchen to a Regina, right? Okay, Authentic Ash says, I'm going through this now and it's not the first time. Yeah, unfortunately, been there, done that. So these type of girls, you will notice that they're very like bubbly. Like the difference between these girls and Eva is that Eva is actually, like I said, Eva tries to genuinely befriend you at first because she's a nice person overall. But these types, when they fawn over you, it's very weird. It's like love bombing. It's like they overly compliment you. They're overly too excited to be around you. They just have this idealistic view of who they think you are, right? And they're envious of you, and they be like, okay, if I be around her, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that, I'm gonna get to look down on people and do this and have power by association. So then they proceed to befriend you, and they realize that you're not a Regina, you don't look down on people, you are a kind person. And she's confused and annoyed because what do you mean you look like that and you're not using it to your benefit? That don't make sense to her. Why are you not using your power? I befriended you because I thought by befriending you, I will have power by association. And you're not giving me power by association. Now I'm angry. Also, like I said in the video, these type of people, these type of girls are usually terrible people themselves. They're not good people. They're usually very fake, very shallow. They treat people terribly. And they feel like if they're around you, they'll have even more power to treat people terribly, like they're beneath them. So how do you look like that and you're not a terrible person and using your power for bad? They don't understand it. Also, these type of people usually think that they deserve to treat people terribly because they feel like life has been hard for them. You know those types of people, they feel like I get to talk down to people. I get to treat people terribly because I went through this and I went through that and da da da. So I have the right to bully people or talk like this to people or whatever. Those types of people. So they think that somebody like you will automatically be a bad person like them because, I mean, you just have all the power in the world, right? But then you're not. And she's confused and annoyed and frustrated because she was hoping to be able to use you, use your status for her benefit, use your power for her benefit. But now she can't. So then she starts to think, huh, so either your life has been perfect and you didn't go through as much things as me, that's why you're still so nice to people, or you're an idiot, or you're weak and stupid, so I'm going to bully you. And that's when they start with the crap, okay? Joopy Jazz, hey Joopy Jazz, nice to see you today. She says they always have a reason for their toxicity, but the second you bring up your past and you need to heal and get over it and grow up. Such a double standard and it's everywhere. Yeah, those people they have a victim mentality. They feel like only their trauma is valid. They feel like only their whatever they went through is valid, and everybody else's problems is not as huge as their problems. And they use that whatever they went through as excuse to not do anything right with their lives. So yeah, stay away from people like that. They're not good people. So now she's annoyed. She's annoyed. She thinks you wasted her time. She thinks you wasted her time. She feels like you are stupid. She feels like you're stupid. She feels like you're weak and you don't know what you're doing with what you have. And she feels like it's her job to prove that secretly under all that kindness and whatever, that you're really a terrible person just like her. And you're just hiding it. You're just being fake. These types of people love to provoke you. They're trying to get that reaction from you because they need to understand that you are secretly a terrible person. Because if you're not a terrible person, then what excuse do they have to be a terrible person? They don't have one. So they need to make sure and confirm that you are also a terrible person. Okay? So they proceed to try to provoke you. Okay? She proceeds to try to provoke you, and you guys, I give some examples in the video about what type of provocation it is. But if you haven't been around people like this, what they do is so underhandedly evil because it's like, what will possess a person to even do this? Like, you're sick. But some examples of provoking you is, for example, standing too close to you. Like, let's say y'all are all standing around, you're standing in line or whatever, I don't know, just hanging around. And she proceeds to stand right behind you, like where you can even feel her body on you, or like stand right next to you, bumping shoulder to shoulder. Clearly understanding that she's invading your space, your personal space. She knows that. But she needs you to get angry and say something and yell at her. She needs that reaction to prove that you're a terrible person so that she doesn't feel the way that she feels about you. Have you ever had that happen? Something like that happen? That example? Being in your personal space, breathing hard over you, standing right behind you, right next to you, because she needs you to look at her and cuss her out. She needs that from you. She needs to show people like, hey, I told y'all she's not, I told y'all she's secretly a terrible person. You see what she said to me? Did y'all hear what she said to me? She just yelled at me. Daisy, hi Daisy. Hey Daisy girl. She says, I'm here. I just can't talk about it. Well, listen. Okay, thank you for joining. Exotic Dakota says, it's very sick with these people. I always try to just get away from them when they try that backhanded thing. Yeah, especially like in a professional environment, you just have to walk away because they're trying to get you to like sabotage yourself. Okay. Ruth said very similar to lesbian relationships. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Beyond Narcissistic said help. Yeah. Jupi Jazz says, I don't make eye contact with strangers unless I have to or they've been nice to me. Anytime I go out with others, they ask, did you see how people looked at you or us? And I'm like, why would I bother? Yeah. I mean, I don't make eye contact with strangers either. I just keep going unless you like, you address me or something. Um, but yeah, provocation. They're trying to get you to rage and snap and go off on them because they need that reaction. Example, a few years ago, this girl, exactly the same thing that I said before with the whole fawn trying to be your sidekick to get him frustrated. And then she tries to like eventually get me to rage at her by trying to act like she's my teacher. If I would say something, she would try to correct me. Or if I try to do something, she'd try to like do it for me like she's my mother, or like she's trying to get you to rage. Because when she first came to me, she told me that another pretty girl that was in the same environment had like hit her with her suitcase. And I'm thinking like, why would somebody do that? That's so rude. Like that's so like using the victim stories, but I bet you she did some BS to that girl. And that girl said, absolutely not. You're not going to play with me. See, these types of people, they need that reaction because they need to think of themselves as a victim. They need a reason to be a victim. Hey, this person doesn't like me. I'm a victim. Hey, I try to be nice to this person. They said this to me. No, you try to play to her face and she hit you with her suitcase. You're not innocent. And she will do this with the pretty girls, the people she's envious of. So they try to provoke you because they need that reaction to be able to say like, yeah, see, she's a bad person. See, I'm not jealous of her. She's a bad person. Yeah, see, I knew she's a bad person. Krishan says, how to differentiate between envious people and narcissists. Some women feel entitled to attention. If you're indifferent to them, they get angry and act the same as an envious person. Well, if you want to differentiate between a narcissist and an envious person, narcissists, that's a whole criteria for them. So if you go to the DSM-5 criteria online, it gives you the whole criteria. So if somebody is envious of you and is just angry at you, but they don't have any of the other requirements to be a narcissist, then they're not a narcissist. Pink Angel says, I was at a child's B-Day party wearing a kaftan, and when she came to where I was standing in the group, she made a comment out of nowhere about the color of what I had on. Yeah, just trying to pick with you to get you to yell at them, to snap at them so that they can use that reaction to tell people why they don't like you. They can't tell people they don't like you because you're jealous, because that's a hater. They need a legitimate reason. So if you snap at them or call them a bad word, they'll be like, see, I don't like this person. She just said this to me. Da, da, da. Y'all shouldn't like her either. She said this to me. They need that reaction. Okay, they need that reaction. Okay, moving on. How many people got in here? We got 30 people watching. Hey y'all, do not be shy if you're just coming in. Say hi in the chat. Okay, say hi in the chat. All right. Another example of trying to provoke you is touching you without permission or using your things without permission. Everybody knows you're supposed to ask people for permission to use your things. Everybody knows you're not supposed to be touching people unprovoked without their permission. They will do this to try to get you to be angry. They will especially do this in public with other people because they need everybody to see you snap. Okay. So touching you could be like, let's say like y'all are walking somewhere, then she touches your back and be like, okay, go here, go left. Like, you don't need to touch me. And why are you directing me? I know exactly where I'm going. Like, you're not my leader. You're not my mom. I'm not a child. But those are the type of things they do to get you to snap at them. Why are you touching me? I'm not a child. You're not my leader. What are you trying to say? I'm dumb, that I don't know what I'm doing? But it's those little things, those little microaggressions that they do that we don't talk about. When somebody's envious of you, the things they do to get you to snap at them. Hi, Just the Boss. Good to see you in the chat. How you doing? She says, it can make you feel like you are overly sensitive or crazy when others around you don't seem to notice this person's behavior for what it is. Yes, and that's the whole point. That's the whole point of why they're doing it, because they need to make you seem crazy and unhinged to people. They want to make you seem like a mean girl. That's why they do those things, because to other people, it seems like it's not a big deal, like you're overreacting, but you know what they're doing. You know exactly what they're doing. But nobody else can tell because you are the target. She is envious of you, not anybody else. She doesn't treat anybody else terribly, just you, right? So it's very calculated. Shine Baby Shine says, yes, I've had this happen. Met a girl who started ordering me around like I was her secretary. Take notes of this and direct, order me around trying to assert dominance in front of others. Yeah, they do that, especially when you're pretty. When you're pretty, they try to treat you like you are some dumb kid that needs to be ordered around, or like they're trying to like just assert dominance. Like if you guys watch Bad Girls Club, with Ashley, the really pretty girl, how they all ganged up on her and tried to like treat her like she was a child or like she was stupid, and like trying to like act like she was a child, trying to son her. Like that's what they do. That's what women do when they're envious of you. That's what they do. They try to have intellectual superiority over you. Okay? You try to act like you're incompetent. Okay, Exotic Dakota said, I hate it when people try to come up next to me and pat me on the back after saying something completely stupid and disrespectful. Yeah, they're trying to get you to snap at them. They're trying to get you to snap at them. They need that reaction. Okay? Beyond Narcissistic says, people do that a lot to me and I hate it to the point I almost fell one time from someone pushing me. How do we react to those touching? When somebody touches you, I don't care what it's going to make you look like. You need to cuss them out. They'll have to learn your lesson publicly. Above Rubies. Hi, Above Rubies. This is my first time seeing on the live. Hi, how you doing? She said, yep, happens at almost every job. Yeah, they're trying to assert dominance because they're envious. That's what they do. Like it happened. If you guys watch reality shows, you will see this a lot when like the really pretty girls get on camera. They did it with Drea. They did it with Ashley. Like they try to make you feel like you're incompetent, you're a child, they need to teach you. Like I said, they become the expert. They become the expert. In my Games Jealous Women Play video, they become the expert. Yeah. They're your superior. You need to follow them, follow their directions. They are in control. It's just to cure their envy, to feel superior in your presence. That's all. Okay. Another one is insulting you or saying something shady and offensive. Now, insulting you is kind of obvious, but shadiness, like for example, it'd be like, no offense, but with a smirk and then say something offensive. You're trying to shade me. They're trying to get you to explode and yell at them and insult them. They need you to be a bad person. They need you to be a mean girl. Okay? Beyond the Narcissistic says, isn't that the reaction that they're searching for? Yes, unfortunately, with these types, if you don't give them that reaction that they're looking for, it will just keep escalating. Okay, I've tried the silence thing with them. It doesn't work. It just gets worse. Joopy Jazz says, I love using blatant sarcasm to make them feel stupid. Insert degrading joke. Weird projection, bro, but okay, don't you have something better to do? Yeah, make them feel stupid. Make them feel stupid for even like trying that with you, right? Authentic Ash says that's exactly what they do. And above Ruby says, and please be aware it can come from equally as pretty or conventionally prettier women too. I have that happen all the time. Like they should be the only one to look good and be the best. Yes. If you watch my Outsmart a Smear campaign video, that was one of the reasons why that I put competition and rivalry. They want to be the only one. They want to be the only one. So they feel like they need to assert dominance. Shine Baby Shine says, gotta embarrass these fools and call them out. They may try to gaslight you, but make them look ridiculous by thinking they can cross your physical boundaries like that. Yeah, yeah. When it comes to stuff like that, silence doesn't work. They'll just keep escalating because at that point they think it's fun. They think it's weak. They think you're weak, right? Because that's not equivalent to a smear campaign. A smear campaign is different. This is somebody really just trying to play in your face for real. And if you don't say something or do anything, it's just going to keep escalating because at that point, they think it's funny. They think it's funny. All right. Shine Baby Shine. Oh, she already said that. Okay. Exotic Dakota says, yep, you have to make them feel dumb. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Yeah, so basically just little things to get you to explode so that they can feel better about themselves. Okay. All right, so let's talk about the fight response now. Okay. And I said the women who usually do these things are narcissists. Okay. One of the main traits of NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, is one, they are envious of others or they think others are envious of them. And two, they have grandiosity. They think they are superior to everybody based on absolutely no merit. They just think they're superior for existing. Okay. So imagine somebody feels like they are the best, they are the superior, right? And you walk in and you are actually superior. You are messing that false reality that they have created for themselves. How dare you come in and be everything that I pretend to be? Because what narcissists do is that they create this false reality, right? And where they're just so amazing, everybody worships them, everybody's like scared of them and intimidated by them, and they're just so amazing, and that's the reality that they live in. But in real life, people think they're losers. Okay, so they're living in this false fantasy that they've created, and then you walk in and you're everything that they're not, that they pretend to be. How do you think they're going to react? They will get so angry. They will be so angry with you. How dare you mess up my reality? You think you're better than me? Oh, narcissist ego, their ego will be so crushed and they need to eliminate you immediately. Okay? Nelly Swan said, hi, Nelly Swan. Hi, missed you. Hope you're okay. GP Jazz says, circles back to people telling little girls being bullied means they like you. Ugh, I hate that. Above Rubies, okay, just replying, okay. Shine Baby Shine says, yeah, and others won't be so quick to defend someone touching you inappropriately, especially in this day and age. Yeah. Daisy's laughing. What you laughing at, girl? Naji Toti. What should I call you? Just Naji? Okay. She said, I had one friend that stole my Instagram password and just watched my social media. She told me this herself. Okay, that is creepy. That is sick. Like, no sense of boundaries. And that's very disrespectful. That I'm not gonna keep that person as a friend. That's disrespectful. Why would you steal my like that? Why would you violate my privacy like that? No, that's not good. Okay. Okay, so you are messing up that narcissist reality. And they're not going to take very kindly to that. Okay, so these types, their egos hurt, they become angry, and when they see you, they're actually very aggressive. They're not going to fawn over you. They're not going to fawn over you like the last two envious archetypes. Okay. So these are the girls that when you're just minding your business, they come into your space to come yell at you. Or in public, they'll come scream at you, insult you, try to fight you or assert dominance, or like just they find any little reason to get in your space to try to fight with you, whether that's verbally or physically. They just need to cut you down in order for them to feel better about the envy that they feel. If you guys have studied narcissism and gotten accounts, they feel envy like nobody else feel envy. It's such a strong emotion for a narcissist to be envious. They cannot handle it very well. That's why they can't hold in the aggression that they feel. Okay? Daisy said, I was laughing when you said they think they're great, but they're actually losers. Yeah, they're losers. That's why they have to create that reality. But anyway, so I was saying, um, they can't hold it in. A narcissist cannot hold in their envy. So they're not going to be so nice to you, right? So the example that I gave in the video is narcissists think everything is about them. They feel like the world revolves around them. They feel like they are the center of the world and everybody else is just like NPCs in their world, right? They don't think anybody else have lives outside of them. So let's say you were listening to a funny podcast before you came into work. And when you come in, you're still kind of like laughing at the podcast, or you just think it's funny, you're still smirking. That narcissist is going to think that you are laughing at them. Because again, they think the world revolves around them. Everything you do is about them. Also, when somebody's envious of you, they tend to project a lot of things onto you, right? They feel like you're coming at them. So you could just be like laughing at a podcast or something you're watching and they think it's about them and they try to fight you. Or they start yelling at you, just coming at you crazy or aggressive, like, what is this? What is this? And you will notice with these types, if they come at you aggressive and you are not aggressive back, or you just don't want to like have any problems with anybody, or maybe you're a people pleaser or something, they proceed to try to befriend you. Okay? Because they feel like they can have control over their target of envy. Okay? If somebody is envious of you and they feel like you'll be easy to push over or control, they will do that. They will bring you closer. Even if they don't like you, they're aggressive towards you, they're mean towards you, they still will bring you closer. Okay? Because the more they have that access to you, the more they can make sure that they what? Suppress you. That's what the video is about. They're trying to suppress you, right? Okay, Najee says the same girl was so mad at me because I bought her flowers in a hotel room for her birthday that she mumbled. And then she mumbled that she wished that my plane to go to the US crashed. We're not friends anymore. Oh my God. You did all of that for her and she said she wants your plane to crash. I hope she's cut off. Yeah, I hope she's cut off forever. Block her everywhere. That's insane. My God. So, this narcissist one day realized, like, oh, you're not going to fight back, or you're a people pleaser. You're trying to show them that you're not a bad person. You're not out to get them, or whatever. They will proceed to try to get close to you. And it's not friendship. They know that if they don't if they distance themselves from you, they will not have access to sabotage you, demean you, suppress you in every which way. They basically get close to you to dim your light. With a narcissist, they can't be around you and you are obviously outshining them in every way. They need to get close so they can dim that shine. and crush you so that you are a shell of yourself. That's the whole point of them coming close to you, becoming your frenemy. That narcissist does not like you, but they can't let you go, because if you go, you're going to keep shining and they're going to keep being envious. They need to take control of their object of envy. Why does she not like me but keeps getting close to me, Bella? Okay. So now that she brings you close after she's been weird and aggressive with you, and she realizes that you're not going to fight her back, or you trying to prove that you're not out to get them, you're not malicious, they're not thinking like, oh, this person's such a good person, let me leave her alone. They think, oh, she's weak, I can take control and finish her off so that I can be the top superior. So they get close. And sometimes they'll be a little bit nice, because if they're consistently mean to you 24/7, you will leave them immediately. So that's when we get the push and pull, right? They're nice to you one day, they're cruel and mean to you another day. One day they love everything about you, next day they hate everything about you and embarrass you publicly. Push and pull, mean and nice, hot and cold. If she doesn't like me, why doesn't she leave me alone? If she leaves you alone, how will she be able to sabotage you and dim your light? She can't. She cannot. Okay? All right. So, what a quote unquote friendship, or I don't call this friendship, I call it a bully the target of envy dynamic, because it's not a friendship. Okay? So, when you are friends with this person, they will try to cut you down every which way they can. Okay? You did something good, they talk ish about it. You want to do something, they tell you you can't. You know you can't. Insults, embarrassing you, humiliating you publicly, cutting you down in front of people. They're trying to do this to make you a shell of yourself. Okay, so once you were confident, you were beautiful, you were intelligent, you were competent, now that you keep hanging around this person, or better yet, this person keeps hanging around you, they keep saying little, like Robert Greene said, little bitchy comments, little shade, humiliating you publicly, embarrassing you publicly. Now you're walking on eggshells because you never know what they will do. You see how they're dimming your light? They're dimming your light. They're making you feel small. You're becoming a shell of yourself. You probably won't want to go get the things that you want to go and get, because now you're anxious. You're developing low self-esteem because they planted that for you. You're being groomed to make yourself small. Okay, Pink Angel says, I feel like these types of people seek out people who won't react or care how they're perceived. Yeah. Helena Love, hi, this is my first time seeing you on a live. Hi, how are you doing? She says, the queen is live. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. So she's trying to make you a shell of yourself. She's trying to dim your light and suppress you. So now you're anxious. You're a little bit depressed. You're unsure of yourself. You're doubting yourself. Whereas before, you were completely confident, you were competent, you had good self-esteem. They're getting close to suppress you. If they don't have access, they don't have a relationship with you, how can they suppress you? They can't. You guys, somebody that actually likes you, that is a real friend, will not be making you feel bad about yourself every chance they get. Will not be diminishing your accomplishments, will not be humiliating you in public, telling your private business to people, trying to make you feel dumb, trying to make you feel like you can't do this, you can't do that. When they do that, they're befriending you to suppress you. They're trying to make you small, dim your light so that I can feel superior. Ruth says, I like your bird and line analogy. Reminded me of the Lion King with Simba and Timon and Pumbaa. Yes, so that's where I kind of got that idea from, right? So thank you, though. All right, moving on. So, why does this narcissist, if she doesn't like me and she's envious of me, why does she keep coming around me? Because you'll notice with these types, they'll keep coming back. They will hurt you, go away, and come back. And it's like, yo, if this girl don't like me, why does she keep coming back? What's the point of coming back to somebody you don't like? Right? What is happening is that they've made themselves the gatekeeper of your shine. They are around to make sure that you are suppressed. Because when you're not suppressed and living in your full glory, she becomes very envious. And for a narcissist who thinks that they are superior to everybody based on no merit, they can't have that. They need to be superior, and you are messing up that reality. So if they keep you around and keep coming back and not leave you alone, they can make sure they make you so insecure and so depressed and anxious and dim your light that you will make sure that you suppress yourself because they got in your head. Okay? Isn't it crazy how that works? Along came Ari. Hi, Ari. Hey, girl. I know you always wanted to catch a live. Thanks for joining. She says, wow, I was watching the video all this time, not knowing you were live. Yes. Hi, girl. Shine Baby Shine says, groomed is the perfect word. Yeah, they're grooming you to suppress yourself because they can't handle the fact that you exist with all this light and shining and all that good stuff. They can't handle it. Okay. All right. So the next type of fight response, this is not necessarily from a narcissist, but these are the type of girls that maybe they have been bullied in the past by a Regina George type, and they see you and they think that you will be the same way, right? So they've built up this armor around them, right? So they feel like this person, they feel like you're going to be a bully. So they feel like they need to bully you before you can bully them. Honestly, they're kind of scared of you, okay? They become nervous around you, right? And they have preconceived ideas about attractive women. They assume because you're beautiful, you're probably a bully, right? That you probably look down on people, you're the type to make other people feel small. And before you even open your mouth, they have decided that they have already decided who you are and what your intentions are towards them. So they become paranoid and on edge around you. Okay. Have you guys met those types of people? They just seem really nervous and on edge around you. Like they feel nervous, like they feel like you're about to bully them or you're playing in their face. So they try to become strong and they're going to bully you instead. So they come at you with aggression first. And they're doing this to get you to be scared of them, to be scared of ever trying to even think about bullying them, right? And once they come at you mad aggressive, and let's say you don't fight back or you're a people pleaser, you're trying to show them, like, hey, I'm not a threat to you. Like, I don't have any bad intentions towards you. They feel satisfied and they'll bring you close because they need to have control over you. If they don't have control over you, they feel like you might end up bullying them. Have you guys met those types of people before? Okay, Ari says, I recently just left a friendship. We were besties in school when we were younger. Then after high school, we drifted apart, then became friends again. And then okay, she's still typing. So with these types of girls, you will notice that when it's just you and them, they're very nervous. Like they're actually very nervous and intimidated by you. That's why they mask it with aggression. Okay? They're scared of you. I remember with this girl that y'all remember in my Science of a Dangerous Personality video, I told y'all that this girl that was at my job, she brought out like a box cutter, I guess to prove how dangerous she can be. So I dare not try it. When it was just me and her in an elevator once, y'all should have seen her face. She was nervous, anxious. These girls are scared of you. You're scared, and they're trying to get control to suppress you so that they feel safe. Okay? Okay, Ari said, and then I drifted apart again. And then after my divorce, we got back close again, but she was so insecure and always talking negatively, then projecting onto me because I think she was jealous. It was exhausting. Yeah, you gotta let them go. Sometimes people drift apart, and that's okay. Not all friendships or relationships is supposed to be forever. Some relationships are just meant for a season, and the season ran out. So you just have to keep moving. Okay? Ruth says they're definitely scared of you, but can't get enough. Yeah, they be anxious. I'm like, oh, this girl is like scared of me. That's why she's doing all of that. Oh, okay. Ah, okay. All right. So why was the video called "They Befriend You to Suppress You"? What do you mean by suppress, Bella? Because that's what all these types of different frenemies do. Okay, they're getting close, whether it's through fawning or fighting, to gain control over you and suppress you under them. Dim your light, make you a shell of yourself so that they don't feel as envious of you. Okay? So, for example, with Eva the envious, she will befriend you while sabotaging you behind your back, right? The others will get you to fear them so that they can gain control over you and be the gatekeeper of your shine to control their envy towards you. Because if they make you a shell of yourself, they don't have to be envious of you. You're nothing, right? All right. So how do they actually suppress you? The first one I talked about, they try to control your environment. Okay. So like I said, preemptive slander. They talk bad about you to other people or try to get people to be scared of you or standoffish with you and exclude you because they're trying to become the only person in your life that you depend on. Because when you depend on them entirely, they have control. And when they have control, they can make you feel any which way they want. Isn't that crazy? Najee says, please tell us the story of the worst way people acted during your birthday. Ooh, child. That is a traumatizing experience. Ari says, will be like, why do you always have to wear makeup, look good, even when we're not doing anything? I'm like, girl, I look good, I feel good. You should try it too. You can't walk around in a bonnet and PJs outside and then be insecure about how you look. We will be walking and men will look at me and never give anyone attention. But she will be like, OMG, she'll be like, OMG, these guys keep looking at me. And I'm just like, okay. Anyway, sorry for that long rant. It's okay. It's okay. We've all had that experience. Yeah. Yeah. They try to, instead of them trying to get up to your level, they try to get you to suppress yourself, to come down to their level so that they feel comfortable about themselves. Right. So they will try to control your environment because the way envious people work is that if I myself cannot compete with you to feel better about myself, I'm going to make sure you feel like there is something wrong with you because I'm going to get everybody to start acting like there's something wrong with you. And the way the human brain works is that if multiple people treat you terribly at the same time, you will start to think that there is something wrong with you. And they know this. That's why they utilize other people. That's why they do the mobbing. Because if multiple people are treating you terribly, you start thinking like, wait, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I just don't understand this. Maybe did I do something? You start questioning yourself. It's very devious and calculated. They try to control your environment. They try to control who you can see by, again, making sure other people don't like you so that you're only isolated to them. Because once you're isolated to them, they become your only voice of validation. Right? Nelly Swan says, DL men also do this. Ooh. Oh my God. I don't know anything about that. Okay. But I guess, yeah. Right? Or they try to get you to feel excluded. So like if like there's a party that everybody's gonna go to, they're not gonna tell you about it. They'll tell other people not to tell you about it, or they tell other people that you're not a good person. So like nobody wants to invite you. Like they're trying to control your reality. Since they can't control how you look or your competence or whatever, they try to control everything else around you to send you the message like, ha, you're not all that. Nobody likes you. Right? Okay, Ari said that's why it's important to do the work and not require external validation because you know you're that girl. When my ex will try and put me down, I'll just laugh and roll my eyes because okay, yeah, that's the part y'all need to get to. Do the internal work so that when people come at you crazy with these type of things, you will just laugh because you know exactly what they're trying to do. Like last year, when I was on my hiatus, child, okay? Last year, I actually got knowing what I know now. I was talking to this man. He just started trying all these manipulation tactics, and I was laughing in my head because I was like, "Ain't no way, ain't no way, ain't no way." Like once you know the tactics, you just start to laugh because it's like, this is so ridiculous. I can't believe I used to fall for this. That's why it's important to heal. It's important to heal. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm posting the link to the Bible manipulation and the No One Cares course. Okay. Check it out. Thank you guys for your support. Krishan said it can be anybody. There's a customer where I work who is a highness and rightfully I let others assist them and they go out of their way to bump into me loudly and talk bad about me. Yeah. Yeah. They're just trying to get you to snap and use that reaction as fuel. Okay. So the whole point of them controlling your environment is because they want you in this isolated box where they can now become your God. And if they can become your God, they can start to change your view of how you perceive yourself. So with the whole example that I gave with the lion and the bird, if the lion is completely isolated to the bird can now start to put ideas into the lion's head like, you're not all that. You're not great. See, nobody likes you. You're not strong. You're not the king of the jungle. This, that. No one likes you. That's why they need to isolate you and control your environment. They befriend you to suppress you. Okay. Daisy says, thank you for the live, dear. Thanks for joining, Daisy. Ari said, and you're totally right, to be honest. When I realized my friend was doing this, and you were like, yeah, I gotta go. Her sister made an assumption about me and she never corrected her weirdo behavior for real. Yeah. Yeah. Ruth says, yeah, they want to play God. Yeah, they want to be in charge of how you see yourself because if you become a shell of yourself, they don't have to be jealous of you. Right? People are really wicked out here, y'all. Very wicked. Okay, we're almost at time. So, you guys, I'm going to stay a little bit later because of everything that happened. I had to stop the live and come back again. So, I'll stay on for like maybe 10 minutes after. Okay. Number 2 is excessive criticism. I know you guys can relate to this one. If you're supposed to be my friend, right? How come everything that I do is dumb? How come everything that I say is stupid? How come everything that I like is so dumb? You don't like anything that I do. You downplay everything that I have done, all my accomplishments. You don't like anything about me. Just constant criticism all the time. If somebody compliments me, you cut me down immediately. You try to get people to see me in a diminished light. Why are you here if you don't like me? To suppress you, girl. To suppress you. Clock it. Clock. Clock it. Clock it. Okay. Oh my God. I'm a fool. If they're not around you, they don't have access. How can they suppress you? If they can't suppress you, how can they control your envy? They befriend you to suppress you. That's why it's excessive criticism. Everything you say is dumb. Everything you do is dumb. They don't like anything you wear. Everything you wear is stupid. All your taste is dumb. Excessive criticism, just cutting you down any which way they can. But she won't leave you alone. She will not leave you alone. If you don't like me, girl, why don't you just leave me alone? Why be around me to keep criticizing me? To suppress you. They need to make you small and make you a shell of yourself and dim your light to control their envy around you. It will keep coming back. You have to be the one to say, like, yeah, no, you can't be around me. Boundaries. Okay. Shine Baby Shine says, controlling your reality, that's deep, low key. Yeah, they want to control your reality. They want to create this false reality where they can tell you exactly how other people feel about you and how you should feel about yourself because they need to control how you see yourself. Najee says, that girl tried to date my crush, completely isolated, so diabolical. Yeah, they try to isolate you and then start living your life, trying to destiny swap. Okay? So if you guys ask the question, if you keep criticizing me and you don't like me, why not just leave me alone? Because she needs to suppress you. And she can't suppress you if she doesn't have access. That's why she keeps coming back. Ruth says, can you tell us a few ways to tackle this? I'm kind of scared of my Eva, even though I've distanced myself from her. We'll save that till the end of the video. Okay. I want to get through the whole list before we get to that. Number 3, they try to get you to serve them. Okay. So this is where I use the lion and the bird analogy. When you're a lion, right? And you don't know that you're a lion, or maybe you do know, but you're just too nice, or you're a people pleaser, right? And you feel like you need to show people that you're a good person. These envious people will try to come into your life and try to get you to bow down to them, to serve them. Be my sidekick so you won't be my competition. Crazy, right? Ari says, you know what's funny? When I have people like that around me, I don't even pay attention to what they say. You pay them no mind, yeah. Instead, I give them advice and then tell them to stay positive and control their own reality. I know that makes them really mad. People hate when you respond to their negativity with positivity. Yeah. So, narcissists or just people that are envious of you in general, they love to get you to practice humility. Meaning that, hey, if you don't think you're all that and you're so perfect, then you think you're better than everyone. In order for me to not think you think that way about yourself, you need to be humble. And what they mean by be humble is serve me, put me before yourself, do everything that I say, be my servant, be my sidekick, bow down to me, serve me. so that I know that you don't think you're all that. Uh, Big up means I want to degrade you. You need to make yourself small so that I can feel better about myself in your presence. That's what it means. They want you to serve them. They want you to exist for them. Put my needs above you so that I can be the ultimate superior, because then I don't have to be jealous of you because I'm above you. You're putting me above you. If the lion put the bird above them, that bird will be the most egotistical person ever because the euphoria they feel is so strong. The actual lion, king of the jungle, is bowing down to me. I'm the ultimate superior. Crazy how that works. Nellie Swan says the envy is so strong. I've seen them cry out of frustration. They believe all the flex in the world belongs to them. Yeah, yeah. I've never seen them cry, but I've seen a lot of the anger and frustration. Like they get so angry and hostile and mean, but they won't leave you alone. Girl, if you feel that strongly about me, leave me alone. Distance yourself. Get away from me, but they can't. If they get away from you, how can they suppress you? You can't. Ruth says Hollywood loves to play the humility game too. Yeah. Ari says, I don't get people who think someone can have it all, be perfect. Like, girl, are we not living in the same world? We all have crap going on for real. My life is a show. I just don't have to look it. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing. People feel like if you don't look like you're suffering, then that means you've never suffered in your life and everything is so easy for you. So they feel the need to humble you and make your life a little harder. Yeah. Very simplistic thinking. All right. Moving on to number 4, how they try to suppress you. They try to hide your existence. What do I mean by that? They don't want other people to admire you, give you any praise, validate your greatness. They want you specifically in this isolated bubble with just you and them, where they can sell you a facade of them being superior and you being inferior. Have you guys had a friend that was envious of you that they will post everybody else but you? They will never post you. They will never like anything, comment on anything. If there's group photos, they will post the one where you're not in because they don't want people to know that you exist. Not because they're embarrassed of you. No, it's because if people see you, they'll be like, who's that? Who's that? What's her IG? Can you tag her? Can you give me her? Can you give me her number? Can you set me up? They don't want that. They don't want you to have any praise, any validation from anybody else. Trying to suppress you. Beyond the Narcissistic says, sorry, feeling drained after dealing with those people. How to, okay, she didn't finish typing. Okay, Ari said, I'm just happy to be a dreamer because I daydream about what I want my life to be. And when it comes to, and then it comes to be, but hey, the issue still exists. Yeah. It says how to avoid feeling drained by these people. Set boundaries. You do not have to be around people that do not respect you, that do not talk to you nicely. You don't have to accept it. You can keep your distance. Avoid them at all costs. You don't have to talk to them. You don't have to entertain them. You don't have to sit around and let them talk to you in a nasty way. You can leave. You know what my favorite thing about being an adult is that I had to remember, like, wait a minute. I can leave. I can leave. Look at that. Look at that. Ain't God good? I can leave. I don't have to put up with this. I can leave. I don't have to be around you. I can leave. I don't have to be friends with you. I can leave. I can leave. I love that for me. Ari says, OMG, yes, I used to cringe anytime someone will compliment me and she was around, and she will be quick to point out crappy stuff about me when I'm like, yeah, I'm a hot mess. Yeah, they're just jealous, envious. Naji says she had me because I was in a vulnerable place and I was alone, so she pretended to be the same as me. And yeah, you guys, when you're going through the worst things in your life, when you're at your lowest, most vulnerable, is when the worst person you've ever met will come into your life. I promise you. They be looking for people that are vulnerable. That's when you meet the worst person you've ever met in your life. Krishan says, I think being neurodivergent and not reacting in ways that they expect adds fuel to the fire. Yeah, if they're expecting you to like get mad and angry and you're just sitting there like, okay, or you just start laughing, they get so mad. Harvey said, I think nonchalance is their kryptonite. I became too detached from my own good. Yeah, when you don't care and just like, okay, girl, like, whatever. They get so mad. Yeah. Daisy said, OMG, this reminds me of when I first moved to a new city. I found a private gym and met a girl at this gym, and we got cool. Every time we went out, she would post me but never tag me. Yeah, I'm surprised she even posted you because she doesn't want you to have shine. They don't want people to know that you exist because they don't want you to feel like you're all that. Suppressing you. Suppressing you. Okay. Najee said, posting a Polaroid of me with best friends on it. Never commented on any pictures I posted, but was addicted to her, unfortunately. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Nellie Swan said, how to recover from the fear of people or anxiety or nervous dysregulation that narcs have caused. You need to get my No One Cares course. I have information about everything. Okay. If you look in the chat, it is pinned to the chat. You need the No One Cares course. Okay. Beyond the Narcissistic says, thank you, but I need your help to accomplish some of my goals. Should I leave? Okay. If you still need them in your life, you need to set boundaries. Like what do you need them for exactly? What are you working on? Because some things you can find other people. It depends on what it is. So I need more information. Ari said they expect you to play the game. Meanwhile, your neurodivergent brain doesn't understand the game exists. Yeah, they get so frustrated. Exotic Dakota said, yes, the worst people always come at the worst times. Yeah, they know that you're vulnerable. You're not going to probably reject them as fast as other people would because you're vulnerable. So that's when you meet the worst people you ever met in your life. Daisy says she will show me her DMs of the guys who asked about me and then said, haha, they will never find you. I got away from her quickly. Yeah, they're trying to control your environment and suppress you. Sick. They try to hide your existence because if other people know of you, they won't be the only voice of validation. That's why I said earlier, they try to control your environment and isolate you to themselves. They want to be the only voice of validation because then they can they can be in control. They can be your God. They can be in control of how you see yourself. See that all these guys that are like asking for your IG or whatever. Let's say she never showed you the DMs. She can come to you and be like, no guy likes you. Girl, please, nobody wants you. Even though in her DMs is filled with guys that want to talk to you. But she can come to you and tell you nobody wants you because she's hiding you. So she's the only voice of validation for you. Isn't that sick? Isn't that sick? Yeah, so they try to hide your existence. They won't post you. If they do post you, they'll never tag you. They'll try to post everybody else but you. They're trying to send you a message that you're not important. Nobody likes you. You're not somebody that can show up. Like just, they're trying to make you feel the opposite of what you actually are. You're way better than them, but they need to control your environment. They want to be your God and curate how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself. Very sick. Yeah. Beyond the Narcissistic says, one of them helped me with my career. I feel off about being around her, but she wants to help me relocate and upgrade my study. If you feel really off around her, I would not trust with her helping me with anything. If you feel like this person is a terrible person, I would not trust her to help me with anything. Because I would think you're trying to sabotage me or you're trying to trap me in some way. So if I were you, I would start networking in other places, other areas with other people. And once I feel like I have somebody better, I can distance myself from them. Because if you are having these intuitive feelings about them, that is your sign that you should not be there, that you should not let her help you with anything. Listen to your intuition. Okay. And sometimes people like this, they try to help you to gain control over you because you will feel obligated to them. Remember, fear, obligation, and guilt is in the Bible of Manipulation. You guys check out the book, Bible of Manipulation. Available on Amazon, and the link is also in this chat and everywhere on my channel. Okay? Fear, obligation, and guilt. I will not allow her to help me with anything because she's probably trying to gain control. Listen to your intuition. Okay, Ari said, OMG, can we talk about how you would try and talk them out of toxic behavior with others? Meanwhile, they encourage you to be toxic. Yeah, they just want you to sabotage your life. Yeah. Also, I said, with how they try to hide your existence, not only do they never post you, or if they post you, don't tag you, they will try to not get you invited to certain events or certain parties, or they will not tell you about it because they need to hide your existence. If you go out there to the party, you will notice how people revere you and how people want to talk to you and, hang out with you. She doesn't want that. She want to control how you perceive yourself. And how can she do that if other people keep praising you? No, she wants you in this isolated bubble, which is you and her, so that she can be the controller of how you perceive yourself. Right? And if you do go to the event or the party with her, she wants you to be her shadow, her sidekick. She will introduce you to people. She will probably walk ahead of you because she wants to assert dominance. She's trying to give you the signal that, hey, nobody likes you. You are beneath me. You're nobody important. She is suppressing you. Suppressing you. Okay. Nellie Swan says they don't follow their own unsolicited advices, and always contradict themselves. Yeah, they want you to sabotage yourself. So they're not going to follow the same advice that they give you, right? Shine Baby Shine says don't trust her. Yeah, beyond the narcissistic, do not trust her. I will not trust her. If you're having these feelings, listen to your intuition. She will try to sabotage you and gain control. So try to network with other people. Find somebody else that can help you. All right, number 5. They sabotage anything good in your life or that may be coming to your life. Remember, they're in your life to suppress your shine. Okay? They can't let you have anything good. They can't let you have anything more than you already have. They feel like you have too much because they're so insecure and envious of you. They can't let you have anything else. Okay? So anything good that you're working towards, they'll try to talk you out of it. If you're working on something great, they try to sabotage it. If you're talking to somebody new, they try to get in the middle of it or try to talk you out of it. And then once he talk you out of it, they go behind your back and start talking to him. They don't want you to have anything. They give you bad advice that will limit your life. They don't want you to have anything. They want to sabotage your life. They will encourage you to do bad things. They will encourage you to be toxic. They will encourage you to do things that can land you in jail, do things that can get you sued, do things that can get you expelled, do things that can destroy your mental health, do things that can make you become an alcoholic or an addict of some kind. Just sabotaging you. They need to suppress you. They do that by sabotaging you with the access they have to you, towards you. Exotic Dakota says, yes, the sabotaging is so bad. I wanted to learn Mandarin, and the first thing one of my so-called friends said was that Mandarin is the hardest language to learn. Just being negative. Yeah, even if you think it's the hardest language to learn, just support your friend. Just support your... Would it kill you to support your friend? You know? Why be all so negative? Shine Baby Shine says, this is exactly why my handle is Shine Baby Shine, as a reminder to do the opposite of what these haters want from me. Yeah, shine, keep on shining. Okay, so they try to sabotage you, give you bad advice, put you in terrible conditions, try to encourage bad behavior and discourage good behavior, try to put you on a bad path, try to sabotage any good opportunities, won't tell you about any good opportunities. They want you to always be suppressed under them in their shadow. If they don't do that, you're going to shine. And if you shine, they're going to feel really hurt. Because they can't control their envy, they will spiral. Okay. All right, moving on to other traits that I've noticed about these types of people, these types of envious people. Okay. You will notice with these types of people that when you're doing really well, when you're happy, everything's going really well, your life is on track, you're looking great, the best you ever seen, they don't want to see it. They don't want to be around you. They don't want to. If y'all follow each other on social media, they will mute you. They will mute you. Okay, they don't want to see it. They don't want to see. They don't want to hear about it. They can't take it. They can't take it. Got a really good paying job. They don't want to hear about it. You're getting invited to really cool events. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to see it. You find a really good guy. She doesn't want to hear about it. They can't see it. They can't witness it. They will spiral because you're supposed to be beneath them. You're supposed to make yourself small so that they don't feel the way they feel. But you shining, they can't take that. Okay? They can't take that. So they don't want to see it. They don't want to hear about it. They will try to even distance themselves from you when you're doing really well. They can't take it. Okay? But let them hear that you fell off. Let them hear through the grapevine that you're not doing so well. Maybe you lost your job, or you're depressed, or your boyfriend broke up with you, or just everything is going bad. Let them hear that. Oh, they will hop on the phone, baby. They'll be so quick to call you, so quick to FaceTime you. Oh, they want to see you. They want to hear it. Oh, babe, I'm here for you. Let's talk. Okay, I'm always here for you. Let's talk. Let's talk. But they've been like distanced ever since they've seen you doing really well. They can't take it. But once they feel like you're not doing well, oh, they'll be on the phone, baby. They will be on the phone. They want to hear everything. Honey, they will catch a plane to come to you to hear everything about how everything is going so wrong in your life. Y'all gotta start paying attention to that type of stuff. Okay? Ruth says, wait, isn't that good since they're avoiding you? Yeah, it's good when they distance themselves. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's good. But I'm just saying, like, y'all should recognize that. When somebody can only be around you when you're doing terribly, that's a red flag. Yeah. Okay, Pink Angel says, you're so right. Not a single interaction on your social media. When something good happens and you try to tell them, she'll change the subject or say nothing. Yeah, they're very envious of you. Krishan says, why are they always so sloppy, revealing themselves through smirks? Yeah, they try to be like, they think they're so slick. The little smirks, the little shift in their eyes when they hear something negative about you, and they feel so relieved. Like you could tell, like they feel so relieved and happy and light. It's like, oh, finally. Like, ew, ew, work on your envy. Exotic Dakota said, yep, catch a plane to see it all in person. Oh, yes, they want to see it in person. They want to hear it. Oh, you can lay on my lap and talk about this, honey. We'll get through it. I bet you want to hear it, though. I bet you do want to hear all about it, right? Beyond the Narcissistic says, when they are too drunk, the mask slips off. Oh, yeah, they get really angry or just they don't care because they're drunk, so they will tell you exactly how they feel about you. Yeah. Yep. All right, another trait that I also recognize about these types of people, envious people, is something called defensive devaluation. This is when somebody consistently downplays and underestimates you, even when it contradicts to reality. So the thing with envious people is that if they actually admit to themselves that you are this great, you are doing this well, they will not be able to handle it. They will spiral. So as a coping mechanism, they tend to stick with something that's lower for you, right? So the example that I gave in the video, I said, let's say you got a new job and it pays anywhere from 65K a year to 250,000 a year, right? And mind you, you have experience, so it's not like you're gonna get the 65K a year, right? An envious person, when they hear this, they would choose to believe that you make the 65K a year. Because if they even start to think that you make anywhere close to the 250,000 a year, they will not be able to handle it. They will become depressed, angry, frustrated, too jealous, too insecure, too competitive. So as a defense mechanism, they devalue it. Oh, she's not making that much. She's probably making the 65K a year. See how that works? Okay, Najee says she literally repeated word for word an expression that I used to say all the time as if it was hers. Yeah, trying to be you. For her, she had no friends except me. Weird. Sounds like a fan. Yeah, copycats. Ruth said, I love your salary analogy too. So accurate. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, but what they have to do is like as a coping mechanism, they have to constantly devalue it. Because if they start to actually think that you're doing that well, they will not be able to handle it. They will spiral downwards. So it's a coping mechanism for them. Okay. Also, another example that I gave, I used to get this a lot too. Like if I would talk about a man I'm dating or something, to be like, you have a man? You don't have a man. Why would I not have a man? No shade. How can you look at me and think that I don't have a man? Makes no sense. But it's defensive devaluation, right? Exotic Dakota says, or when you lose weight and they try to go downplay it. Yeah. Yeah. Krishan says, I struggle with accepting that people can be envious of me. Any tips? Because I'm dumbfounded. Well, perfect. Thank you for asking, Krishan. Because early in the video, I talked about the Glow Getter Guide. Every live that we do, I'm going to ask y'all, I'm going to give y'all homework to do on the Glow Getter Guide or the Bible Manipulation book. In the Glow Getter Guide, there's a section, the very first section says, who am I? And you're supposed to write everything about yourself. so you can create your sense of self. So if you're struggling with wondering why some people can be envious of you, if you look at your look at a guide list and you see all your accomplishments, all your traits, your good traits, your bad traits, your competence, everything good about you. If you see that list, you will notice why somebody is envious of you. Okay? Get the look at a guide. All right, let me put the link here too, child. Okay, you guys, get the Glow Getter Guide. Next week when I do a live, I'm going to ask y'all what you wrote down. So go get it. Okay? Beyond the Narcissistic says, something so simple like buying me a cheap box of cookies when I asked for a more expensive one. The devaluation is everywhere. Yeah, like they just want to constantly, like I said, suppress you. They befriend you to suppress you. Okay? They can't take the shine. Shine Baby Shine says, I lost over 200 pounds and literally none of my closest friends even acknowledged it. That's insane. Yeah, they were okay with you being the overweight friend so that they can feel better about themselves. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Another trait is they always want you to settle for less. They always want you to settle for less. Again, because if you do great things, they will spiral with envy. So if you want to go to Italy, oh, you should go to Atlanta. Atlanta's so much more fun. Italy, what you gonna do there? What you gonna do there? Girl, I'm going to Italy. I'm going to Italy. Okay? I'm going. Oh, you want to be a lawyer? Oh, that's so much money and so much work. You should just be a blah, blah, blah. No, girl, I'm going to be a lawyer. Because if I actually became a lawyer and make that $250K a year outright, you're going to be very mad and spiral with envy. So you want me to settle for less all the time. Right? Oh my God. If you get mad at your man for, I don't know, not giving you something nice that you wanted, he'd be like, why do you need that? Oh, you're bothering him. You don't have to do that. See, I'm okay with just like a $5 bouquet of flowers. I think you should be too, because you do too much. They always want you to settle for less. Settle for less. If your man gives you a great gift, a great experience, they will spiral with envy. Okay? Beyond the Narcissistic says, never settle for less. That's right. Najee says her cousin asked what happened between us when I ignored her in the cafe. She did not even contact me herself. Like, wow, her sisters watch my socials. You're weird. You're weird like that. They send people to do their dirty work. Exotic Dakota said, I hate it when they try to play victim and try to play like they're sick or something whenever there's a big event for you, whether it's be mental health or physical health. Yeah. And you know what? I'd rather they do that than actually come to the event, because with my experience, when they come to your event, they're just very angry, irritated. They try to do everything to get you to not enjoy your day. Like, just set it out then, you know? But I understand what you mean. Nellie Swan said, this one guy used to tell me I should forgive people so that I can indirectly forgive him. Yeah, wouldn't he love that, right? Forgive everybody so you can forgive me so that I can have access to you again. I bet you will love that. Right? Okay, the next trait is they can only be around you if they can somehow pity you. This is a huge one. A huge one. They can only be around you if they feel like there's something about you that they can pity. So like the example that I gave in the video, let's say both of your parents are dead, knock on wood, right? And you tell them that. now they can be around you. Now they can feel comfortable around you because now they can look down on you. Like, oh yeah, she's not all that. Yeah, her parents died when she was so like 2. Yeah, she didn't grow up with them. Yeah. Why are you telling people that? Why are you telling people that unprovoked? Nobody asked. Why are you telling people that? But they need that to quote unquote humble you to feel better about themselves. Like what? Like y'all be somewhere, you meeting new people for the first time, and they're like praising you, saying like giving you compliments. They be like, yeah, yeah, her parents died when she was 2. Why are you telling people that? Who asked? But that's how they can feel comfortable around you. They can somehow pity you, trying to suppress you. Oh, you don't have to be intimidated by her. She's this, she has that, she doesn't have this. Okay. Okay. Exotic Dakota said, I've experienced it when the person was trying to be sick at the event and still decided to show up just to complain. Yeah, just to ruin your day. Messy, jealous. Beyond the Narcissistic says, I'm going to watch your energy siphoners video after the live. And oh, thank you so much. Thanks for you guys. I have a job for you. Share the channel, share it on other platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Share it on Twitter, whatever. Okay. Like, comment, subscribe, share the videos. We're trying to grow. Okay. She also says, feeling like an empty shell after interacting with these people. Yeah. Yeah. You have to take your energy back. Okay, moving on. Now the big question is, Bella, if she doesn't like me that much, why doesn't she just leave me alone? Why does she keep coming back? And I gave her the reasons. One, they want to live through you. They want to be a copycat, destiny swap, live through you, copy everything about you, study you, gather information. They just like being around. They want to be you. They want to be you, okay? Hang around to copy you, study you, steal your style, mannerisms, aspirations, etc., etc. Number 2, they need you close to monitor you. Okay. If they don't have access to you, how can they sabotage you? I told y'all about that. Why won't she leave me alone? If she leaves you alone, how's she going to be able to sabotage you? If she leaves you alone? She can't, so she needs access. Number 3, they need access to be able to eliminate the threat. Okay, they need to be around you to hurt you so that you can feel small and they can feel big. It helps their envy. Okay, so that's what we talked about earlier. They need to be around you to keep hurting you, keep giving you insults, shade, embarrassing you publicly, because they need to make you a shell of yourself. And when you're a shell of yourself, you no longer shine in your glory, because if you shine in your glory, they're going to be so envious and spiral with envy. They can't have that. Number 4, the benefits that come with being associated with you. So, like for example, when we use beauty envy in this video, if you're beautiful, they want to be around you. They like the attention they get when you're around you. They like the status they have, etc., etc. They're just using you. Basically, they're using you. Yeah. Okay. All right. So the question that I believe Beyond the Narcissistic was asking me is how to deal with this. So I think I have a couple of videos that will help with that question. But basically, with these types of people, first of all, you need to have standards for friendships. Because if you have standards for friendships, if you wrote it down in the Glow Getter Guide, wink, wink, you will not have somebody that insults you and shades you as a friend. The minute they say something shady, you remove yourself. Because that's not a standard for friendship. I don't accept that kind of stuff from people. See how having boundaries helps you filter out people like this? If you communicate your boundaries to this person, a lot of times they'll stop. But when they don't, that is your red flag. Yeah, I'm not going to be around this person. Wait a minute. I can leave. I can leave. I don't have to be around you. If you keep coming at me, I'm going to have to embarrass you publicly because I don't want to be around you. Whenever you can leave them, leave them. Have standards. That's number one. Number two, you yourself need to be able to notice when something doesn't feel right about you. I told you guys before, if people treat you exactly how you treat yourself, you're not going to leave. But if they treat you a little worse than how you treat yourself, you're going to leave. So maybe you should start treating yourself better. Maybe you should start talking to yourself better. If you call yourself stupid all the time for little mistakes that you make, when somebody else calls you stupid, you're not going to leave. See how that works? Have standards for how you treat yourself so that you will notice when other people are treating you terribly. Also, don't be desperate. Don't be desperate for anybody. Don't be desperate for a man. Don't be desperate for friends. Anybody. The minute people feel like you are desperate for them, they know they can get away with a lot of stuff. They can get away with the most diabolical things because you're not going to leave. You're desperate for them. And in order to not be desperate, you need to work on your social skills. I have a whole video on social strategies. When you're desperate for people, a lot of times it's because you don't know how to socialize and and categorize people and know how to interact with people. So you feel like you need to hold on to anybody that gives you attention, right? A lot of this stuff, you can learn to avoid them when you actually start to work on yourself. So work on healing, work on your standards, get the Glow Getter Guide, work on your social skills. Because when you have social skills, you know you have options. If this person doesn't treat me right, I'm confident enough to go talk to somebody else and befriend somebody else. I don't have to stick with this person, right? Ruth says, desperation has always been my downfall. Yeah, guys, don't be desperate for anybody. And also, you're usually desperate when you put all your eggs in one basket. I told you guys you need to diversify your network. When you know how to socialize and you know how to diversify your network, you're not going to be desperate for one person, even if they treat you terribly. Krishan says, okay, but how to coexist with someone like this, like a coworker? Do you have an HR at your job? Watch my video called "Your Job Is Not Real, Play to Win." Play to Win. It's a 15-minute video. It dissects everything on how to keep yourself safe at work. Document everything. Email them. Once you start emailing them and it's on record, they know you know how to play these games. And then you go to HR with it. And if HR doesn't do anything, you need to start looking outside of the work of the job. Looking at EEOC or like a legal representative. You have options. You have options. If you talk to your manager and your manager does not move you from that person or does not try to mediate or whatever, you need to start looking at what other options you have because you need to feel safe in your work environment. Shine Baby Shine says, I just had to block a new male acquaintance who's getting a little stalkerish and will probably see him at creative events. Yeah. Krishan says, perfect, thank you. You're welcome. Shine Baby Shine says, how do I handle it when I see him out since I blocked him? I don't know how to answer that because I don't care. I'm a very bold person. I can block you and be sitting right next to you and I don't care. You know why I blocked you. If he comes at you and asks you why you blocked him, ask him why were you stalking me? Why I saw you stalking me 2 days ago. Why are you doing that? That makes me uncomfortable. Put it back on him. How did you even know I blocked you? You didn't follow me before. Make him embarrassed. I think he should pretend like you don't know who he is. Maybe. Maybe. So, any other questions? I think I already stayed 22 minutes after because I was late and my Wi-Fi issues. But before I go, any other questions, real quick? Also, thank you guys for the love you showed on this video. A lot of people really enjoyed the video, so thank you guys so much for supporting. Any other questions before I go? Oh, and to the people in my real life that's listening, because you guys, there's people in my real life that know about my channel now, not because of me. If you're listening and you know me, hi, what's up? Try this. The root says it's the Glow Guide an ebook. No, it's a real book. It's if you go on Amazon, there's two different options. Um, there's a real version of it. Okay, guys, check out the course. Check out the reviews for the course. Check out the reviews for the books, the Bible Manipulation, the Glow Getter Guide. Okay, you guys, next week when we do a live, I'm going to ask you what you wrote down in your Who Am I page chapter of the Glow Getter Guide. So if you don't have it, go get it now, right after this. Okay? All right. All right. Love you guys so much. Thanks for supporting me. I will see you on the next video in the next live. All right. Thank